Makeshift's September 2021 issue is entitled IN-FLUENCERS. It's about how, as demand for transparency heats up, consumers will expect brands to shine a spotlight on their employees. It's time to flip your brand inside out and show the heart of your company, literally. And as usual, anytime we mention facts, figures, reports, and innovations, we'll make sure to link them in the written report. The pandemic had consumers looking inwards, reflecting not only on their own behavior, but that of their favorite brands too. We know you're focused on transparency already, and if not, now is the time to ring the alarm. But how can you showcase your efforts in the most authentic and honest way possible? Consumers won't take your CEO's word for it. Instead, prove that your promises align with your actions by shining a spotlight on your employees, team, or co-workers. So why now? True trend-watching veterans will remember glass box brands, the central idea being that in an age of radical transparency, your internal culture is your brand. Consumers have been peering in ever since, but in 2021, many no longer like what they see. However, while 56% of global consumers believe business leaders are purposely trying to mislead them with false information, 45% are interested in hearing what their employees have to say. Collaborating with social media influencers was one way to bridge the trust gap, but for many consumers, the filters have just lost their luster. A study across 12 countries indicated that just 35% of consumers trust influencers to be authentic, with 84% rejecting influencers in favor of real voices. Simply put, as ordinary folks stumbled through the pandemic, hauls and lavish lifestyles hit differently, triggering a boom in more approachable micro and nano influencers. That means friends, family, and yes, co-workers. And who can ignore the great resignation? It's safe to say that employers need to step up. 49% of global workers report working longer hours than they'd like to. Record numbers are quitting their jobs, and more than half of global Gen Z consumers are considering switching theirs in the next year. Central to this shift is the pursuit of purpose. One US study indicated that 93% of employees now believe companies must lead with purpose, an all-time high. As people look for more meaning in their work, it's time to celebrate your people and turn resignation into retention. Now let's take a look at some of the innovations that show influencers playing out around the world. Fearing retaliation, many LGBT employees around the world choose not to reveal their sexual orientation in the workplace. To honor its 2,700 plus employees that identify as LGBTQ+, June 2021 saw Burger King Brazil launch a campaign that makes its employees the protagonists in the struggle for diversity. The website includes a rotating gallery of BK employees, along with their testimonials on working at the company, and a free downloadable booklet with a glossary of queer terminology and tips on broaching sexuality with kids. Now onto the retail world. As physical stores reopen, knowledgeable and confident staff are key. Nike knows that they have this asset. The sports company released a short series of films that champion a spotlighted member of staff. 7 Nike workers were featured across the London branches, surrounding the idea that each employee is an athlete in their own right, with various talents and expertise. Ask Our Athletes has been released throughout August 2021 to showcase the passion and genuine love of sports. Now onto the financial world. To celebrate Mother's Day in 2021, Banco de Brazil has paid tribute to all mothers across the world with their Two Hearts song. The instrumentals were written by band Sunflower Jam, and BB gathered its employees to sing their own renditions, dedicated to their own mothers and all mothers in Brazil. The band's singer stands center stage, and employees are broadcast in the background of the music video, singing the main lines from Two Hearts, One Was Made. Now on to one brand that's giving its employees real control. Finland-based software development company Vincit runs a CEO for a Day program that lets one employee per month act like the company's CEO for a day. The employee is given an unlimited budget for 24 hours, during which time they can make any company-wide decision their imagination allows. The only catch is that at least one decision must have a lasting benefit to Vincit employees. Otherwise, it's open game. Now on to streaming. We Are Netflix is the streaming platform's dedicated YouTube channel that claims to take viewers behind the streams of working at Netflix, with employee-led content on topics such as inclusion, diversity, and company culture. Recent campaigns launched in 2021 include podcasts about Netflix's feedback culture, and most recently, Beyond the Benefits, a series of videos that spotlights the company's inclusive approach to employee benefits. And finally, on to consumer care products. NOU, or Next of Us, is a new hair care brand from P&G, initially available in the US at Walmart.com in August 2021. The 8-product range targets the needs of 3A to 4C hair types and was developed in under a year with input from 30 Gen Z employees from P&G and Walmart. The label design includes curl patterns to help shoppers identify the right product for their hair type. The range will roll out in store from October 2021. Now on to some of the opportunities that IN-FLUENCERS presents for you as a business. Compared to grid posts or ephemeral stories, live streaming offers a more authentic way to share content online. Appetites for raw and unedited content drove the medium to new heights in 2020, with 85% of global YouTube users watching a live stream in the past year. While purpose live streams have become more commonplace over the course of the pandemic, not a single brand has handed the camera over to a trusted employee. Can you spark a new wave of consumer brand interaction? Get in there now before a savvier competitor beats you to it. And has your brand struggled with accusations of corporate washing? Add more depth and authenticity to your Pride activation or Black History Month effort by putting staff members who identify with the cause at the center of your campaign. Imagine how much more impactful Burger King's message would have been had the staff been granted access to the brand's social platforms. Unlock the gates to your brand's marketing channels and give your employees or team the tools to present as they please, no filter necessary. We should all be embracing the full spectrum. Employee influencer programs are on the rise. See Walmart and Spotlight, with TikTok offering a new way for consumers to see behind the scenes. Most brands use influencers to drive sales, but you're not most brands. Make it purposeful by inviting your influencer to highlight the best and worst aspects of working at your company. It will pay off in the long term. After all, nothing says transparency like addressing your own flaws and publicly explaining how you plan to overcome them. We've been talking about co-creation for a while now, but getting employees involved in the development of a new product shows you value their opinion and could help you create products that are truly designed with the customer in mind. The P&G example is a strong starting point, and take it to the next level by making your team the face of the campaign. Give them a platform to share their first-hand experience of creating and sampling the product. Before we go, we'd like to leave you with 6 things to consider when launching your own influencer initiative. And as we said before, anytime we mention any resources, we'll make sure to link them in the written report. Firstly, authenticity is key. With this in mind, carefully consider the way you present your content. Will you go live and bear it all? It's important to find staff members that feel intrinsically motivated to convey your brand message and are willing to put themselves on a virtual pedestal. Could you have fellow employees vote for their favorite candidate in a reality TV style throwdown? Make sure you have a firm handle on your employee sentiment before handing over the mic. Conduct an internal audit. If you spot any red flags, hold fire. Use the feedback as building blocks for your next strategy deck. But if you're in the clear, there should be nothing to fear. Next, how will you repay your influencers for their labor? Presenting as the face of the company is no easy task. It's important to reward your social media superstars accordingly. Don't know where to start? Disseminate is a company which helps brands turn their employees into influencers. But remember, to make your influencer strategy stand out from the crowd, you'll need to prioritize purpose, not profit. Think about which topics you'd like to cover and sketch out a rough content plan. And last but not least, use our consumer trend canvas to apply the knowledge that you've just acquired and turn insights into innovation. We really hope you enjoyed this issue of Makeshift, and if you aren't already subscribed, head to www.trendwatching.com to sign up for all of our free trend updates.